It's Xavier. And it's Alex Braunton. We all see him in the comments. Well, we're going to see him in flesh. But first of all, I'm going to ask you a question. If I could offer you or show you a place where you could get top quality pre-bonsai nursery material ranging from maples to pines to junipers, the whole range of selections, in fact, you would spend hours looking.
Right.
And I could guarantee them at trade price, that's like 20% off. And if you bought a few pieces, they're always charitable. They'd probably take another $5 off as well. Would that excite you? What would you say?
I'd say take me there right now. That sounds amazing.
Get emotional thinking about it.
What would you think if I said even more? I could get you, or you could get some real quality bonsai material, finished, or indeed good enough that if you're a beginner or looking to get yourself in on the trade, that you could get some good stuff to work with straight away, and it would look like this. Would that interest you?
Yeah, that sounds fantastic.
What's that you say? A massive bonsai nursery offering affordable starter material and quality finished trees at great prices? I'm interested.
Where is it? Where can I learn more?
Well, you know what? If you've been watching my videos, you will already know the answer. But for those of you who haven't, well, clearly, I need you to keep watching. But it's not going to disappoint you. And in fact, a little teaser. Would you believe you get that for £20 now, 2024?
Wow, that's a bargain. That is fantastic.
What you doing to me? You could have told me about this. I mean, I was there just a couple of weeks ago.
So, Xavier, aren't you meant to be somewhere today?
Heathrow, one more day and we'll be there.
Where?
I think there's an airport there. It might be Heathrow.
Anyway, shall we cut, get the credits going, and find out what this is really about, and perhaps answer the question why I'm not at Heathrow today with Scott. Thanks for that, Scott. Roll the credits. Well, hopefully you're still here, because you definitely do want to know where it is that I got. Well, actually, Alex, what do you think of these two yews?
Yeah, these are lovely. Really, really nice. Very healthy. Lots to do with them. I like the twin trunk style.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are fantastic.
Well, they should appeal to yews. Boom! Now, seriously, we can see the price. I'm not going to say guess the price.
Wow.
There was about 30 or 40 of these, all stacked in the corner of one of the 15 greenhouses, polytunnels they've got, which are about 100 foot long. And, well, look, I'll show you. It says £9.80 or 10 for £89. So that would work at £8.90 each. Well, I got two of them, but I didn't pay 20 quid for them. He said, this is too much. I'm stealing money off you. He said, I'll give them to you for 15 quid.
Wow.
That's the sort of old style trading that we all love over here. And I tell you what, you want to know more. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with those, but not right away. Otherwise, you won't bother finding out the great news about where you can get this quality bonsai and what plans they have. And more importantly, did you know the person who's going to take the bonsai section and make it bigger and better to almost compete with Peter Chan's or Greenwood's is actually a very good friend of a particular well-known bonsai master professional?
Wow, okay.
I'm not going to tell you who it is because
He doesn't know.
I could be in at the beginning here to film this great thing opening and really moving forwards. So you need to make sure you keep yourself subscribed, hit notifications. Is that down there or is it down? It's down.
It might be that way.
It's a ding ding anyway. Okay. So there's lots that's going to be happening in 2025, and that's just some of it. But first of all, I suppose, well, Alex, you did ask about Heathrow, didn't you? That was yesterday for me. For everyone else who's normal and actually understands what a diary is and what dates are, it's today. In fact, they're there right now, and hopefully they're having a great time. Let's hear what happened, shall we? But trust me, we are going to be dealing with that straight after. Well, hopefully Scott's going to be here, because I know we've got to get off to Heathrow, and it's pretty early in the morning.
Xavier, come on. We've got a long drive ahead of us. The
Right.
Heathrow show starts at 10. Let's go.
Okay, no worries. Just got to get me stuff. See you in a sec. Okay. Do you know what, Scott? Have you ever had one of those occasions where people have come up to you and asked you why you've got a camera when you walk into a leisure centre with family and children? Scott, have you ever had that happen to you?
Just now.
Why is that? Please tell me why that's happened.
Because you're walking around a leisure centre full of women who are here to do yoga with a camera and there's no bonsai show on.
Did you say that again? What was that? You said you're running away. Don't run away. He's running away from me. Do you know why he's running away from me? Because there was a sign we showed you a minute ago about a bonsai show on Sunday, and we sort of laughed. Well, it never thought to me that I should check when Scott ever so nicely volunteered to take me to this lovely show on a Saturday. It never occurs to me that it's actually on a Sunday. Best we go back to the retreat. But hey, that's worth a laugh. These things happen, don't they, Scott? Where are you going? Where are you going?
To start the 5-hour drive back.
But needless to say, that's why those of you expecting to see me at the Heathrow Bonsai show, that's why I wasn't there, because you weren't there on Saturday when I was. You don't write this stuff, do you? Now, Scott, you've happily mucked up totally when it comes to taking me to this Heathrow Bonsai show that's going to be tomorrow. So please tell everyone, are you surprised with the other plan that I've come up with, which is my favourite place, Savin Nurseries? Look at those two magnificent olives behind you, by the way.
Well, we've just arrived. This looks absolutely incredible. I've never heard of it. Savin Nurseries. It looks enormous as well.
It's absolutely massive, and it's full of every different varieties. It's pot city, well, that sort of pot, not the other pot. And all along the sides here is olives, all European olives, massive trunks on them. Have a look at this, they're absolutely incredible. It's been a year since I've been to Savin Nurseries, and they've got even more monster olives. Not sure Scott's going to get that in the back of his car, and if he does, he'll probably ditch me and leave me behind. And by the way, you can tell I'm at a bonsai tour or garden centre because it's blasted well raining. And how do we know it's raining? Look, he's just become my best friend because I think he's got a brolly in my... Hey, look at that. Where'd that come from? But hey, it's not the Heathrow Bonsai show, but you're going to have a little look around there with me?
I think we can do that, can't we, mate?
Brilliant. Let's have a look then. Well, look, I'm back at my favourite place, Savin Nursery. Absolutely fantastic. Description and the postcode will be at the end. That's the description bit, innit? Well, Scott's just in, and I said to him they have some of the cheapest bonsai going. Absolutely top quality stuff. And should we flip to Scott? Because I think even he had his mouth open a bit. If you look around here, we've actually got some Zelkova, which we all know are actually Chinese elms. But Scott, you've got this, what I'd call quite a big Chinese elm.
Pretty substantial. How much would you guess?
I'll tell you what, Scott's put the question to us all. How much would you guess you need to pay for that? And that is a substantial Chinese elm, and it's in pretty good nick, to be fair.
And the answer is £19.
That is £19 worth of great value at Savin Nursery. If you're anywhere near here, near Bedford, you have got to come, because it was fantastic when I first bought my trees. It's still pretty darn good, and I challenge anyone to be able to get that sort of thing, a Chinese elm at that size for that price. Another example of a nice, cheap, but good is these Metasequoias. Little forest group of them, just £19. And if you're a beginner, this is ideal. You don't need to spend big money, but you do get quality for your bonsai. But they don't just have lower range stuff. We've got this lovely Japanese white pine, beautiful base on it. And I'm sure if I was at Heathrow, I'd be seeing stuff like this. Well, this one's a little bit more expensive. I'm not going to say the price, but you do get good quality stuff there as well, including a bench load of Itoigawas. Absolutely loads of them. Now, I know this was supposed to be about the Heathrow show, but do you know what? We're going to get something positive out of this, because you've already seen the Chinese elm and a couple of other trees, but look at this one here. I mean, it is massive. How much do you think that is? And it's got a bit of wire on it, but look at that. If you're looking to start your bonsai, would you pay £40? I bet you would. I bet you'd bite my hand off to pay that for that. Absolutely awesome. They've got loads of them here. We've even got, well, they're just called azalea, but bearing in mind that I've bought from here before, I'm pretty certain that they're Satsuki azaleas. And the ticket price on those? £14. Just £14. You can't beat that in a normal nursery. And you all know that I absolutely love my larches, and it's so good to see that they've got a massive range of larches here. All these larch foresters, absolutely fantastic. I mean, all the leaves of the needles have dropped now, but they've got all these lovely forest groups, and they're good thick trees. So, you know, we are talking a decent forest display. Got the radio on in the background. Look at these big forests. It's about 2 foot 2 foot across. So you reckon that you're going to be doubling back up on the size on this?
Yeah, definitely. Got a fabulous contact for all the trays and pots now.
But certainly it's so encouraging to see you moving forward with this stuff. And I tell you what, I know this isn't Heathrow, is it, Scott? Because I can't hear any aircraft. Can you? I want to find some aces. There are just hundreds of them around here. You can spend days literally going through, looking at the trunks, looking to see how well they've been grafted, the joints, what they're looking like. And do you know what? If I just say something like this, let's play guess the price.
In other garden centres that I've been to, that would I'd estimate £35–40.
Right, and look at what we've got here. I'm almost tempted to buy it, actually. It's a lovely looking starter. If you're looking to start, you could cut the thing off.
That is nice.
Probably somewhere here. Well, here we go. Let's turn around and see the price.
Wow.
£20? I hope that's it. It doesn't say 200, does it? £20. And that is why I come to Savin Nurseries. And they don't pay me anything either. Although I did get all my tridents from here for 20 quid. I might buy that.
Xavier, what have you found?
Well, I was hoping these yews would know where the Heathrow Bonsai show is, but they don't. But I tell you what, £10, and I found 2 here that have got lovely, interesting twin trunk on that. I'd probably cut most of the top off, but for £10, that's a lot of bonsai tree. And I've also got, there's another one here, which again, twin trunk, and I'm really interested. You want to find something that's going to give you some interest straight away, because my intention will be to cut that again from there. And in fact, what do you reckon? You think that might be a good idea for me to do that? Might actually give us some actually decent material if I do this as a video. So there you go, there's 2 for 20 quid, but I'm going to keep looking to see what else there is. Love these twin trunks.
Okay, so Xavier, you've got your 2 trees for the day.
Yeah.
What are they, yews?
They're 2 yews, Taxus Picada. I was hoping that someone down at the Heathrow Bonsai show would be able to help me design them, but I understand it's not on today.
No, it's not on today. Thank you for reminding me.
Time number 7?
15. Off camera, 30. I do, however, have a challenge for you.
Oh no, go on then.
I want you to choose me a challenge tree. I will, of course, buy it myself, up to a value of £40.
We've never seen that much money before.
What is your preferred style? Do you like deciduous? Do you like yews, junipers?
I'm going to refuse. I'm going to decline to answer that question. I would like you to choose whatever you wish. You can make it as challenging as you wish, as easy as you wish.
I know what I'm going to pick because it's already featured
Oh, okay.
in this video, and I've even asked you questions about it, and I can find out which way you go with it.
Okay, so Xavier's on the hunt. He keeps asking me questions. What size would you like?
I would have been worried if the coffee cup was empty. Funny that, eh?
He keeps asking me hints on what I would prefer.
Now, if we could get a bit of wire on this, I reckon you could make something out of that.
But this place...
We're in the wrong place. We need to be moving. I have got... Tell you what, if you want a challenge, everyone loves the old toilet yew bend maple. What would you do with that?
Leave it in the toilet.
Leave it in the toilet. Good response. Don't ever get fooled into doing that just because... Well, no, there is one thing you would do actually. You'd cut it here probably and try and grow this little branch down here.
And why has that yew bend formed? Was this originally a triple?
Well, you can see they've cut the central core, and the 2 buds that are either side have grown up, and they're probably competing. They're amongst all this lot here, competing for light, so they both grow up naturally like that. We've got a winner here, you know, Scott. We talked about this earlier, and I said to you, really grabbed my eye. It has got a pretty decent, in fact, I don't think I can see the graft in there. This is where someone with more knowledge than me will say that's because it's not grafted. In fact, the graft is there, and that's really smooth. You've got the options. Well, I'm not going to tell you the options. We talked about it before. I think that has got loads and loads of potential.
So this was the guess the price tree, wasn't it? So this is £20.
Yeah, I think, and it's a nice maple as well. So do a good job on it. It's going to look great. You may even decide, hint, if you don't want this top half, you air layer that. But anyway, I think you're going to get yourself a nice tree out of that. And as I say, I very nearly bought it myself. Over to you.
Deal done.
Right, well, we've just about finished at Savin Nursery. As always, I've been treated like royalty. Got a couple of things there which you know we're going to see in a few minutes when I muck about with the yews. Good thing about giraffes, what's the good thing about giraffes? They make your bonsai look even smaller and better. So if you can get a giraffe in your garden, that's quids in.
As clumsy as he is stupid.
Talking of the future, by the way, for Savin Nurseries, they've got a bloke called Hayden who's pretty canny with the bonsai, and he's managed to get himself into the community here, and he's going to be doing loads with the bonsais they've currently got. So I think we're going to see a lot of changes, a lot of up-ramping in terms of the quality and everything. So I keep saying it, Savin Nursery, you've got to come out here. It's only going to get better from a bonsai point of view. You've got all the material that you can buy yourself and make, but there's going to be some cracking trees that you can buy as well, and they are at great value, because as it says on the tin, everything's a trade. Scott's managed to get me safely back from Heathrow. Oh no, not Heathrow, from Savin Nurseries. We're not going to labour the point. How did you what do you think of Savin Nursery then?
When the realisation that the show wasn't on hit, there was a moment of but actually, I don't know how you feel, but the nursery was, if nobody's been, I really recommend people go. It was fantastic, really large, fair size selection of bonsai trees, but such a variety of other trees across the nursery. Really helpful, took a lot of time to talk, and it turned into a good day. Now we're back here at yours, and you've kindly offered to give me 30 trees, which is fantastic.
I did offer to give you some dirty trees. And what is it that I've got back with me? There they are, they're the yews. So I might have a little bit of play with those and do some basic work, because we can do yews this time of the year.
£9.80.
Incredible. And I also got £5 knocked off, so they cost 15 quid for the two of them. And I got a bag of ericaceous soil, which everyone knows that I love putting ericaceous soil in my bonsai mix. Not, but I really appreciate that. And off you go. Time to go. Well, after what was an interesting day, I can honestly say that Scott's a great bloke, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with that tree. And I had an absolutely fantastic time, even though we didn't go to Heathrow. So hopefully everyone who goes to Heathrow has a great time and tells us all about it. Well, you've seen we waved Scott off, and you know, the two of us had an absolutely fantastic day. And bear in mind, it's the first time we've ever met each other. It's another big thumbs up for the bonsai community. Absolutely glorious. But you know what? I mentioned to Alex at the beginning that maybe we'll crack on and do these two yews, and we are. And I'm not going into loads of detail. I've actually got a fantastic video about repotting yew and some initial styling just up there, and I did it around this time, perhaps a little bit earlier last year. Now, I did ask Alex to help me, but unfortunately, you know what, he's a family man, he's a busy man, and that's probably one of the good reasons why you haven't yet seen him set up his own channel. I know he wants to, but hey, we sometimes have to prioritise in life, and Alex has got his priorities in exactly the right place, his family. So we're going to be dealing with these yews in just a moment, but I've got a massive thank you to make. Scott left me a ginkgo that he's already grown from seed. Now, I haven't got a seed grown ginkgo, so we've now got Scott's ginkgo added to the bonsai retreat, and that's going to be part of my seedling to bonsai series, which I'm really looking to push out and develop in 2025. So that's something to look out for. And again, this one, and he told me what it was, and I've forgotten. So Scott, whack a comment down below and tell me what this one was. Okay, so we've got Taxus baccata, two of them, absolutely great value. Honestly, probably I reckon I'd be struggling to get anything like that for anything less than sort of 17, 18 pounds, possibly even 20. Anyway, what am I going to do? Well, do you know what I thought? My last video with Corin at Greenwood's Bonsai, I was going on and on and on about be careful about your repot times. You don't have to repot now. Sometimes it's volume that makes many of us do it. But this is another of the species that last year I actually did do the early autumn, late summer repot on. Well, I've got two. So what I'm going to do, both of them are going to get cut, because now is the great time for doing hard prunes on your yew. Later in the autumn I tend to do needle plucking to see if I can encourage some new buds and all that for next year. But and there's variations across the board. If I was going to say to have a look at anyone, certainly Tony Tickle has got quite a lot on the yew. But one I'm going to actually leave in the pot and do it in spring, and one I'm going to repot now. But if it helps you at all, the first thing I do, I try to establish a front. That can change, but I'm going to be looking at both of these, establish where the front is, and say, before we come back, I'll have got you the fronts and I'll have removed probably the lower quarter of the thing. Okay, so point one, establish your front. And when you're deciding your front, you probably, or definitely, want to try, just have a little dig down in the nursery soil, just to see one, well look, we've got loads of circling roots on this, so it's a healthy tree. But just see if we can find where that potential nabari is. Now I know my front's either going to be there or indeed there because of the nature of these trunks. Now I could well be wiring them out, create a bit more space or distance, but for now all I need to do now is just try. You look at all this mess up here and you're like, whoa, what am I going to do with this? Well, you've got to try and establish here there are 1, 2, 3 leaders coming from that one side. Now this is the thinner of two trunks, so this isn't going to be the main, so at some point this is going to have to split off. So if I just separate it slightly and have a look, I've got to try and decide which of these I want to take away. And to do that I'm considering taper, so I do want the trunk, the second trunk, to go down in size, and in the middle there's actually a nice one there, but I also want it to head off, so this one's going in, so I already know I'm going to remove, certainly I'll take a bit of that top off. See, I might actually take this middle one off, so that I can use that. Along there we've got 1, 2, 3, let's just cut that back to there, 1, 2, let's just cut those. Now I'm also going to take all the needles in the middle away, and these will probably get wired to create something there. So that is how I've reduced that great big mess to something that's workable. I'm going to do the same thing with that, and it isn't random, but you're looking at how it's going to look from either that perspective, so I know this is going to go out, so it means I'm probably going to put some wire on it going out that way. And again, I don't want to take necessarily too much foliage off, just enough that I know where my primaries and secondaries like to be. And actually looking at that branch, that too is quite long, so we've got shoot there, and then a shoot up there. So we'll just do that for now. Pluck some of these inner older needles, the darker green ones. And again, I probably observe whether doing it now rather than a little bit later in the autumn makes any difference, but this should prompt the tree at some point to send out some new buds. Now I need to do the same here, and again I'll say to you straight away, we have got in here central core, easy way to taper. I know straight away that doesn't taper particularly, but we've got 1, 2, 3, we've actually got 5 different ones around it. I mean, I quite like this up here, but you've got to decide whether you want to continue going further up the tree, or whether actually you take that central core right out and then start growing the tree from all this new stuff. And this is all going upwards, so I actually want to do that. So I'm going to take the top off. And already, well, I think already you should be able to start looking at it and going, well, I can see there's potentially a bonsai in it. So let me continue to thin stuff out. Might even put some wire on, and I think this will be the one that we'll repot. Okay, well that's taken me another sort of 10-15 minutes. I've wired a few of the lower branches. You'll see there's a lot that's disappeared. A really base structure for those primary branching that I want to come out. I want something coming out here, got some pads here, something in the back. I've taken needles off here. I'm hoping I may actually get some back buds further up here. That's why I'm going to leave this up here. But if I don't, that will end up getting cut off. But I'm pretty hopeful that if I just let that grow, I'll get the back budding I want there to just fill in this area here. Ultimately, I've just done some, and again the twists look a bit false and natural, but what I know is I'm going to get the back budding to give me branches closer in, which is what I really, really want. But it's given that sense of something over here. Then we've got these bending down, just gently coming down to give us something at the back. Again, I'm looking for more back budding as this grows on. Top, I've just got to do a finish, a little bit of something like that. I'm not overly fussed with the top, and all I'm going to do is just shorten off. That's probably going to be the new top there. So we'll shorten them back. And there. Many of you will say, yeah, but it's the start. Let's take it from the nursery. I've given a very, very basic framework and structure. Now, if I wasn't particularly confident or that sure about repotting now, leave it in that compost, wait until the spring, not a problem at all. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that out of the pot and have a look and see what these roots are like. And then what we're going to be doing is we're putting it into a predominantly pumice zeolite mix and see how we get on. Right, well here we go. This is the root structure we've got, and as expected we've got two trunks. Probably a lot of what we're seeing over here is going to be relating to this. Now, to the best of my knowledge, I've got a funny feeling that yew can be root sensitive, so if I end up removing this entire lot, I'll probably lose this branch. So right now, all I'm going to do is just remove there's some obvious stuff. We've got some stuff wrapping around. I can get rid of that. Stuff that's around the trunk there. Just clean up. They're all going to go down, and I imagine that what we're going to have, this is going to be part of a feature, I think. We've got this one that's coming up here. I'm going to get rid of that. Got this one here that's coming across. I think I can get rid of that. So we will. And we can see this great big one coming there. I'm not willing to separate that from it yet until I get a lot of healthy growth and just start just getting a feel for this. Okay, well there you go. Got it in the one of the cheaper China pots. As I said, this root's gonna have to stay up and exposed, but it's a yew, it's ancient. I can see that happening. All I need to do now, I will continue to cover, and even this one I will actually cover it up as much as I can. So that's the first of the yews in a pot with a pumice repot at the end of summer stroke, the first few weeks of autumn. Let's see how that looks in the spring and the subsequent autumn time, because this next one we're just going to do the top half and leave the repot for spring. It's got a little, I think it's got my particular flavour. It's got a little bit of quirkiness about it. But if the back budding all starts happening, if it stays healthy, then I think we're going to get a really interesting twin trunk yew. Let's have a look at the other one, shall we? So shall we see what sort of fun I can have with this one in the click of a finger? In fact, the count of some numbers. 3, 2, 1. Okay, well there you go. And I've taken the same sort of approach. I'm actually going to keep this third little trunk. We'll see what happens. Could be an interesting triple trunk. It will have to grow a lot. And I've also decided that on this one, as well as leaving it for spring repot, I'm not going to do any wiring. Let's just see how we can do just doing the traditional old cut and see. So I am reliant, like the other one, on lots of back budding. For back budding, the tree needs to be healthy, which means these need to continue to grow out. So I probably won't be pruning in the springtime. So that has been one big episode, and we're back to here, which, guess what, was one of the trees I got from Savin Nurseries. Lots of cutting back, but this thing is very healthy and I love it. And I got it probably 25% less than if I'd gone anywhere else. We've seen the work done on the two yews. We've got a challenge there out to Scott to see what he can do with that maple that I selected. Really looking forward to that. So all round today has been a massive big thumbs up for me.
Big thumbs up, big thumbs down, mate. What you doing to me? You could have taught me about this. I mean, I was there just a couple of weeks ago. You know I don't live close by. if you have something like this, could have at least taken me there. Oh man, looks nice though.
You sound a bit disappointed. Well, truthfully, I think what I've done is given you a great reason to come back next year in 2025. And loads of people would love to see you here. You just have to find a way to pay for it, because things aren't cheap, are they? Could be down to a few people out there, who knows? But I won't ask.
It's not about the money.
So you tell me, is Savin Nurseries probably one of the best bonsai nursery secrets that we have here in the UK? Or have you found somewhere that's better? You let me know in the comments if there's anywhere in your area that you think does great deals. But more to the point, I think in 2025 we might have some development news up there, because I know I was invited back to do a bit of behind the scenes filming. More of that in 2025. Apart from that, all I can say is thanks very much for watching. If you want to see some really great stuff from Scott, one of his touring videos is, I think it's called Pets and Garden Centre in Birmingham. Have a look. It's going to be a really good video. Loads of people enjoyed it already. Apart from that, happy bonsai and God bless. Cheers.